Secret with you. Your body does not want to be fat. And if you're overweight, it's really not your fault. Don't blame yourself for another minute. Trust me, it's not because you eat too much, lack willpower, or don't exercise enough. Sure, those things do matter, but not nearly as much as you've been led to believe. No, the real reason you don't already have the body you want is because you're eating the wrong foods. Foods that constantly keep you hungry, slow down your metabolism, rob you of your energy, and force you to store fat. And here's the sad part. These are the same foods most experts have been recommending for decades, even though the facts tell a different story. Let me give you an example. We've been on a low-fat kick for over 30 years, ever since the USDA gave us our food pyramid in the late 70s, and yet there's more fat folks around than ever before. Now, on the surface, this may seem a bit strange, but when you dig a little deeper, it makes perfect sense. You see, foods that have been stripped of their natural fat are loaded with sugar and artificial sweeteners. In fact, if they weren't, they taste like cardboard and nobody would buy them. But besides giving food its taste, these additives mess with your body's metabolism. Specifically, they cause you to hoard fat. It's the complete opposite effect you'd expect by swapping the full-fat version of a food for the low-fat one. And yet, that's exactly what happens. Here's another example of a health food that really isn't healthy at all. Are you ready for this? It's a bit of a shocker. Orange juice. How can this be? Well, an orange is one of the most nutritious things you can eat. But when you drink a glass of juice, it's like injecting 3-4 oranges into your bloodstream in one shot. This spikes your blood sugar through the roof. The end result? That pile of sugar ends up flooding your liver. But since your liver can only hold a small amount, the rest gets converted to fat. Fat that ends up in your belly, thighs, butt, or any other place you happen to store it. Are you starting to get the picture? And keep in mind, those are just 2 examples. Just think about all the other foods you've been told are good for you, but are making you fatter and sicker with each passing year. Which brings us full circle to that secret I mentioned earlier. When you feed your body the right fat-burning foods you'll be learning about shortly, foods that are not only healthier, but also tastier than what you're eating now, you won't believe your eyes every time you step on the bathroom scale, or the changes taking place in the mirror. And while everyone's body is different, just imagine losing 3 to 7 pounds the very first week you start using this secret, and then continuing to lose at least 2 to 4 pounds every week after that, until you have the body you've always wanted. What kind of a difference would that make in your life? No doubt you'd look and feel fabulous. Perhaps you too have some outfits tucked away. Outfits you never believed you'd wear again. Now, how excited would you be to try them on, and for the first time in years have them fit like a glove? Or how your self-confidence would soar when friends and family showered you with compliments, something that surely will spill over into your love life, which not to mention, would be thrilling thanks to the surge of energy going hand in hand with your new sexy body. Now, I can tell you from experience, those are just a few of the perks you'll enjoy firsthand when you put this plan into action. But the truth is, they're all dwarfed by the amazing feeling of knowing you're in total control of your weight and your health. No longer a slave to food, the constant cravings, or the endless guilt that comes from cheating on some diet. No more worrying about where on your body that bag of chips will end up, or tipping the scales on a Monday morning after a weekend binge. And you can finally break the cycle of losing and regaining the same 5 or 10 pounds, and even stop that sneaky weight gain you'd otherwise face as you get older. Just imagine continuing to look your best year after year, no matter how many candles are lighting up your birthday cake. And you want to know the best part? You don't need to count calories, calculate portions, follow complicated point systems, or anything else that keeps you chained to the kitchen sink or takes over your life. In fact, that's exactly why the method you're about to discover is so powerful. The secret lies in its simplicity. Once you set it into motion, it works on virtual autopilot until you've shed every last ounce of your stubborn body fat. It really is unlike anything else out there. Let me explain. Unless your metabolism is completely shot, the way mine was before I discovered what I'm about to share with you, most weight loss plans will work. Some better than others, but all of them will help you drop a few pounds. The problem is, they burden you with too many rules. Now, couple that with the fact that most leave you hungry, and this creates the perfect storm. You're always thinking about food, especially what you can't have. It's only a matter of time before you get frustrated and give up altogether. So here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter how much weight you lose or how fast with any particular method. If you can't stick with it for life, you will never have the body you really want. It took me years and many botched fat loss attempts to figure this out. In fact, this is the most overlooked secret when it comes to weight loss. The same secret I still use to this day to stay in the best shape of my life. Now, here's where things get real interesting. When I first started this plan, I didn't tell a soul, and for a good reason. I was too terrified I would fail like all the other times. and I couldn't bear to have to look my loved ones in the eye and break the news to them that once again I had fallen off the wagon. Sure, they were always encouraging me, but whenever I'd hit the skids with some diet, deep inside I felt like I was letting them down. The thought of that was just too much to stomach. So for once, I decided to keep my mouth shut. But after a few weeks went by, they started to notice. Naturally, they asked me what new program I was on this time. But I just brushed off the question and told them I was hitting the gym a bit harder. But by the look on their faces, it was obvious they called my bluff. Nevertheless, they wished me well without pressing on. However, by the 8th week, I had undergone such a total body transformation, they begged me to spill my secret. And since by this point it was obvious that this was no fluke, I decided to let them in on the action. Andrew was my first guinea pig, a real special case. He was already a big guy when I first met him way back in college. But over the years he continued to pack on the pounds like it was nobody's business, and with no end in sight. He had the slowest metabolism you've ever seen, and a ravenous appetite. Everything he ate went straight to his gut. But in spite of all this, with just a few tweaks to his diet, Andrew went on to lose a whopping 52 pounds in just under 3 months. His results were nothing short of amazing. Not only that, it seemed that the more weight you had to lose, the better the secret worked. Next was my friend Joanne, a very sweet girl who was skinny up until giving birth to her beautiful baby boy. She struggled to get her body back for at least a year, and then she got pregnant again. And by the time she had her second child, she was carrying an extra 35 pounds of fat. So, I sat her down and showed her what to do. And guess how long it took her to drop that extra weight? A mere 14 weeks. She went from a size 11 to a size 4 and she looks fantastic. And then there was Peter. He was only about 20 pounds overweight, but at 6'5", you could never tell just by looking at him. He had other issues, however. You see, he suffered from crippling mid-afternoon crashes to the point where he was useless after having lunch. As you can imagine, this was killing his productivity and creating problems at work. But once he got on the program, his energy went through the roof. Not to mention, he dropped 9 pounds in the first 2 weeks. He no longer needed the Red Bulls or several cups of coffee just to make it through the day. And get this, he tells me he's in line for a promotion now that he's at the top of his game. And if that wasn't enough, apparently his relationship with his fiancée has also improved. Something about being more fresh when he comes home from the office. And like those guys, I continued to help out anyone who'd ask for advice, like my sister who dropped 6 pounds in 7 days, or my brother-in-law who cut down on just one food he usually ate and went on to lose 16 pounds in only 3 weeks. The truth is, everyone who took my suggestions and ran with them dropped at least 15 pounds within the first month. And I'm not telling you this to brag, just to point out that here's an incredible opportunity available to you. Let me explain. This all started from a simple secret, but since everyone's body and life circumstances are different, I had to tweak it along the way. And after helping dozens of people hit their goal weight, I had a full-blown blueprint, one that anyone could follow to easily get and stay in the best shape of their lives, and without any of the pitfalls that come with traditional diets. No calorie counting, portion controls, or complicated point systems. No need to starve, eat tasteless health foods, spend endless hours in the gym, or turn your life upside down just to lose a few pounds. I knew what I was holding in my hands, and it was just too valuable to keep a lid on any longer. And while I'm not a professional writer, my friends and family insisted I make this information public. So that's what I did. I took every tip, trick, and tactic we used to get rid of our extra weight and put it in a book. I call it the cruise control diet, but to be honest, it's not really a diet. It's actually a set and forget system for effortless weight loss and supreme health. Here is just a small sample of what's inside. How to force your body to feed off its own fat stores. The weight will literally melt right off as you continue to enjoy delicious meal after meal. Plus, you'll never feel like you're dieting for a single day, while friends and family beg you to spill your secrets. The little-known way to never fall off the wagon, ever. You can say goodbye to the guilt trips that come from cheating on your diet. Getting the body you've always wanted is just a matter of a few short months when you follow this simple plan. Why some people can eat whatever they want, whenever they want, and as much as they want, and never gain an ounce, and how you can do the same in just 30 days from this very moment. How to break through any weight loss plateau, no matter how stubborn. Almost everyone is dead wrong when it comes to this common problem, but you're gonna love how simple and fun it is to jumpstart your fat loss. 5 foods that burn belly fat faster than anything else. These are the complete opposite of what you've been told, and why most dieters avoid them. Eat at least 1 per day, and you'll be amazed at how easy the weight comes off. A popular health beverage you should never drink, but probably do so every day. You've been wrongly told that it's good for you, but all it's good for is growing your waistline. Drop this from your daily diet and watch the pounds and inches quickly follow suit. Why calorie and carb counting and even portion controls always fail in the long run? Sure, you'll lose a little weight for a while, but can you keep this up for life? Here's a dead simple way to make sure you never overeat, and it works every single time. No time to exercise? No problem. Try this trick to burn twice as many calories in a 60-minute run on the treadmill, and without breaking a sweat. How to set your metabolism on fire so you instantly burn off everything you eat, even junk food, and it has nothing to do with having several small meals per day or taking those dangerous fat burners. How to stop being hungry every few hours and kick your cravings to the curb. Now you never have to be a slave to food ever again. The insider tactic that puts your fat loss on steroids, the same one that just a handful of hardcore bodybuilders know and use to get six-pack abs in a few short weeks. And these guys are already freakishly lean. Just imagine what the same tactic will do for you. But that's not all. Because when you follow this simple plan, not only will you lose weight faster and easier than you ever thought possible, you'll also become healthier than you've been in years. Plus, you'll discover how to head off serious health problems before they even surface. For example, how to send your HDL or good cholesterol that keeps your arteries clean through the roof without taking a single pill. The drug companies would lose billions if everyone knew this secret. But it's all exposed on page 40. The most important cholesterol reading you're not getting. Think LDL is the real killer? Think again, because you might be making the biggest mistake of your life. The shocking truth about saturated fat. Which one's good for you and which you should avoid like the plague. Not knowing the difference can wreak havoc on your heart and your overall health. How to get the same anti-aging benefits Hollywood celebrities pay thousands for, and how to get them for free. And so much more. It would take at least another hour to outline it all. The best part? You can put this program to the test without risking a penny. And right now, if you so decide.